think Spotify is a great example of how they did that. And so they took sort of that contrarian approach to choosing a smaller market because of how that market was ripe for things, use that as that foundation. And then, we're able to continue. I think another good example of a company, and for Americans in the audience, you're probably not super familiar because in America, we don't love carpooling, but the largest carpool platform in the world called BlaBlaCar, a French company. I don't speak French, but when they first started very early on, Frederick, their founder, they called the company Cofouturage, which means carpooling in French. But he kind of realized, no, we want to build a global company. People can't say that if they don't speak French, but everybody can say blah, blah. So set that up. But then very early on, what they did is they instituted this strategy they called building for two markets. So they thought about the Spanish market, which they thought was good for their solution. They actually hired people from Spain, had them move to their French headquarters, and then helped them, not only sort of indoctrinate them and help them learn the company way of doing things, but also influence the development of the product and the company. So that when they were figuring out things related to things as simple as the app interface, they didn't think just about the French language and length of words. They thought about the Spanish language. When they thought about transportation regulation, they didn't think just about the French market. They thought about the Spanish market as well. And so things to the point, one of the points I made before, it's not hard coded for that one market. There's that flexibility built in. They said, we got to build this in a way that'll work for Spain too. And in doing so, they, made it very easy for them to add country 3, 4, 5, 10. They also, in having that company knowledge, paired with the local knowledge of the Spanish employees, when they actually went back to Spain to launch in Spain, they had that great trust built. There was a number of great things that that they had set up to facilitate faster growth in different markets.
Maybe just add to that story is a lot of companies also grow through acquisitions, and we actually like the way that BlaBlaCar thought about it. They didn't go and acquire like a big organization that is already operating in that market that does carpooling, etc. They actually acquired smaller teams that are trying to solve the same problem that they're solving. And so from an acquisition standpoint, the dynamics are very different, right? Because they're trying to solve that problem locally, haven't maybe solved it yet. So actually getting someone in that can be a partner to you, can add more resources to it to solve that problem, becomes a better dynamic inside the organization, almost like a mothership coming in to help and support their mission. And so oftentimes we see a lot of companies doing an inorganic strategy, acquiring big assets, big organizations with legacy cultures and legacy systems. And it's really, really hard to integrate those efforts and align strategies as well. And so sometimes it's actually looking at smaller acquisition targets that may need some support from the organization, whether it's products, whether it's services, or whatever else that is complementary.